Hello, my friends. Here we have it. This is the bad boy. He's in the house. This is my most recent PSA return, 40 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And we're going to open it up, see what's in there. A lot of disappointments on this one, I gotta say. I know my friend Braden is watching to see my reaction. He thinks I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to try to remain calm. Although there is a toolbox here. We'll get to that in the middle of the whole video. It's there for a reason, for a good reason. I think you'll all enjoy it. Alright, now let's get going. I've become somewhat of an expert at opening these boxes now. So you can see how crafty I am with it. Well, you know, you can only get so good without hurting yourself, you know. Alright, my friends, here we are. We're going to start off with this paper, okay? It's beautiful. So many trees had to die for that. Alright, so it's 2 boxes. Alright, about equal weight, so I'm assuming 20 cards per box. I'm going to start with this one, just for the heck of it. Alright, and this submission, like I said, has a lot of disappointments. There's a lot of good things in here as well, but I would say on the most part, it was a disappointment. In fact, it was so much of a disappointment that I actually ended up calling PSA and speaking with the supervisor, Stephanie. And we spoke for a while, and I communicated to her my disappointment with the inconsistency of PSA grading. And she basically told me to, well, she in a very nice way told me to go F myself, essentially, by just kind of regurgitating her policy at me, which is, oh, we stand behind our grades, you know, we can't do anything. I was kind of looking for a free voucher for grading, but I was also kind of wanted to know more so I can explain to you guys. I'll get more into that conversation as we go through this. Alright, so let's just start off and see what we have here as the first thing. Okay, so Win Karibo, Mint 9 is Ultimate Rare, first dead. I swear to you guys, the thing that's disappointing about the submission is that a lot of cards got 9s where I definitely thought they should have gotten 10s. And that's based on all my previous PSA submissions. So this is very inconsistent in terms of what kind of grades we got here. So let's just keep going. Mint 9 of Gaia the Dragon Champion. Now this one might be just due to centering. I don't know. I mean, Braden and I opened this pack fresh on video from my LOB box. It was pretty much just centering, and it's really not even that bad. I mean, I was pretty convinced it was going to be a 10. Alright, now this is good. It's a Monster Reborn Gem Mint 10. We are selling this, so if somebody wants it, just give us a message. That's old school Yu-Gi-Oh collector and the Yu-Gi-Oh Mint, which is me. One just auctioned off on eBay a few days ago for $475. So hopefully we can get a price somewhere around there. Okay, a Mint Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. I don't know why this got a Mint, but we do have some good news in terms of Blue Eyes Toon Dragons, which is Gem Mint Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, Gem Mint Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, Gem Mint Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, and Gem Mint Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Boom. Economy crash. That's the Great Depression right there of Blue Eyes Toon Dragons. You guys witnessed it live. So, yeah, I mean, not really a Great Depression, but for introducing 4 Gem Mint 10s into the market like that, it's going to cause some setback of the price, I think. Or maybe not. I'll sell them pretty cheap, so maybe nothing will happen. All right, right leg of Exodia, Gem Mint 10. If you guys want to buy that, it's totally for sale. Dark Magician 9 and Dark Magician 9. Very upsetting, these guys. Very upsetting because I opened them fresh from a Star Deck Yugi, and you guys know I already made the claim that it doesn't matter if you open a pack fresh, you know, box fresh. It doesn't mean it's going to get 10, but I don't send in cards unless I think they have a good chance at 10. You know, because it's expensive, $18 per card for regular rate. And these guys, I really was confident they were going to get 10s. They only have the slightest, just the tiniest issue. I mean, I don't even know if they do have the tiniest issue. I mean, when I looked at them, from what I remember, I was so sure these guys are 10s. So I'm not sure what to do at this point. This is representative of a larger problem, which is now facing me, being, should I keep sending to PSA and taking the risk, or should I send to BGS, which seems to me like is, first of all, more likely to get a Gem Mint, although the Gem Mint from BGS is worth less on average than a PSA 10, PSA Gem Mint. But you're more likely to get a Gem Mint from BGS, and I don't know about their consistency, but the fact that they have subgrades and tell you those, it just makes me seem like, I just think that if I sent these two guys to BGS, right now they'd come back as 9.5 gem mints. And of course, that's much more preferable than mint 9s from PSA. So that's the larger issue that's facing me, is should I continue using PSA or should I switch to BGS? I think I'll do both for sure. But it'll depend. I think, it'll depend on the conditions of the cards. I don't want to take any more risks. So this is a 9 because I lost a lot of money. Because these guys, I'm not going to leave them as 9s. They just don't belong as 9s. There's no way I'm going to sell this as a 9, for example, or trade it as a 9. It's just not a 9. It's a gem mint card, and it will get gem mint from BGS at the very least. Even if it gets a 9 for one of the subgrades, still. Thunder Giant 9. That's okay. It's an ultimate rare. Things happen. This got a 10 though, which is great. Elemental Hero Wild Edge, Gem Mint 10. You guys know I'm working on that Elemental Hero collection. Ultimate Rares. I'm trying to get all the Ultimate Rares in first edition and graded 10 by PSA, which is a very tall task. I've made a lot of progress though. I'm missing some key cards at this point. Glow Neos, Ultimate Rare. Rampart Blaster, Ultimate Rare. Thunder Giant, Ultimate Rare. And Shining Phoenix Enforcer, which I now have Pack Fresh Gem Mint ungraded, which will be going to PSA very, very soon. So, Flame Wingman, this is my second or third one. I gotta count, see how many I have at the point, but these guys are not easy to come across with the gold stamp and being Gem Mint. It's the legit version. Not easy, I gotta say, especially in Gem Mint condition. So, I'm very happy about it, I gotta say. Alright, next. There goes the Rampart Blaster. I was really hoping for a 10 on this guy, but I'll take the 9 because I understand. I understood it. It had a chance at 9. Is how Ultimate Rares are in general. So maybe I'll try. Actually, sorry, it got an 8. So maybe this isn't even worth sending back. Although we shall see in this submission a very interesting thing which happened. Because I just said, what did I say? I said PSA 8. Oh, I shouldn't send it back. There's no chance of getting a 10. You'll find out something very interesting happened in this submission very soon when we come across it. I'll tell you. All right, Gem Mint 10, Solemn Judgment. This is a faded card for some reason. I don't know how that happens. One person told me it was a misprint. I don't know if it's a misprint. It might just be literally fading of the card. Maybe it was exposed to too much sunlight or something. I don't know how the depigmentation process occurs for the surface of these cards, but it's different. I have another Solemn Judgment back here somewhere, but it would just take too long to find it as a Gem Mint 10. So it's different. This one is different. I don't think it's worth more, but somebody would probably try to say it is. Gem Mint 10 Buster Blader. Already sold, so really cool. Part of the Dark Paladin fusion. So neat. From Pharaoh Servant, guys. Really nice. Gotta admire this card. Really, really cool. Just like a freaking dragon killer. That's what the card is all about. He's just a freaking destroyer of dragons. And if he faced Blue Eyes White Dragon, he'd kill it. He'd kill the Blue Eyes. He'd kill a Blue Eyes. He would kill a dragon that's virtually invincible. I mean, come on, guys. You gotta give him some credit. They don't call him Buster Blader for nothing. Come on now. Alright, we have a Jinzo Gem Mint 10. Psych, he got a 9, unfortunately. And I think he might be centering, so got some pretty strict graders on centering this time around. So, I mean, gonna crack it out of the case. Actually, he might be traded to my friend. I have a great friend, by the way. Shout out to Shining Yugioh Collection on Instagram. What a great guy from Mexico. Great guy. I think this might be traded to him. So, but it is a gem mint. So if he gets it, I suggest to him he breaks it out and maybe sends it into BGS. So, because it will get a 9.5 there. All right, Mirror Force. Oh, this is what we were talking about. All right, guys. Now we have to get a little bit. Maybe I should save it for the end. You know what? I'll save it for the end. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this card out and see what's up with it. Cause it got a 5. Okay, that's a 5. That's totally. I mean, I'm speechless. Totally unexpected. Now, like I said, I'm only sending cards that I think have a pretty decent shot at 10. So to get a 5, I was flabbergasted. So what I'm gonna do is gonna break it open on camera. We're gonna take a look at it at the very end. I'm gonna inspect to see, does this thing deserve a 5? Does it deserve a 9? Or maybe does it even deserve a 10? And Winkaribo level 10 as a 9 also. So I think the Winkaribo and the Winkaribo level 10 are going to BGS along with some of the other cards we saw. All right, now this is our second and last box we're opening. And you guys can see how I have this problem facing me, which is BGS or PSA, BGS or PSA. I could make a song out of it. BGS or PSA. Oh, all right, you know what? I think that's enough singing for one day. All right, and I stand while I make this video, so you can hear me exasperating because getting tired from the standing. Although I am converting my sitting desk to a standing desk very, very soon, probably in the next 3 or 4 days, just for productivity, you know. I tend to be lazy, so I have to force myself into situations where I exercise discipline. It is what it is. I am just how I am. But I'm trying to change, so let's continue. Mask of Restrict 9 would have been so cool as a 10, but regardless what grade it gets, it's such a neat card. And really like a hallmark trap of Labyrinth of Nightmare, you know. Actually, it's the cover art for Labyrinth of Nightmare, so wait a minute, is it the cover art? Or is it Dark Necrofear? Actually, yeah, I think it's Mask of Restrict. Yeah, it's Mask of Restrict. All right, next we have Tyrant Dragon 9. This is the second time I sent this in. The first time I got a 9, the second time I got a 9. But I had really strict graders this time, so it's totally no surprise. I don't think I'll be sending it back in for a third time. The only thing that's really wrong with this card is its centering, which is, again, like I mentioned 1,000 times, just how Legacy of Darkness is. So this is an LOD card from Legacy of Darkness, and it just tends to be off-center. I don't know if you can see just how off-center it is here. It's not really that off-center, but I thought it was off-center enough so that I could, that it wasn't off-center enough so I could pull off a 10, but I guess it doesn't seem that way. So it would get a 9.5 for a BGS because they'll give it a subgrade of 9, and then everything else would get at least a 9.5, giving it an overall 9.5 Gem Mint. So Red Eyes Black Dragon as a 9. This guy came from my good friend Old School Yu-Gi-Oh collector, otherwise known as Brayden. And yeah, I got a 9, so cool. I like how so shiny it is, the second print of it. It's so freaking shiny. Really nice, like rainbow, you know, like rainbow. Rainbow shiny. They should make a rainbow shiny card. This is the new rarity, rainbow rarity. Gem Mint 10 of Thousand Dragons, so that's really neat. Really neat. 1,000 dragon. I never really understood with this thing. 1,000 dragon? Did they mean to say 1,000-year-old dragon? And if so, why not put 1,000-year-old dragon? 1,000 dragon seems a little ambiguous. 1,000 what? 1,000 what? 1,000 what? Could be anything. 1,000 could be anything. 1,000 hairs? Well, who knows? All right, Exodia 9. Definitely should have gotten a 10. And you guys might be thinking, oh, this guy, he wants 10s on everything. You know, he expects 10s. He thinks everything's a 10, you know. Suck it up, buddy. Look, I'm just telling you what I expected based on previous submissions. Based on the quality of cards I got 10s and the quality of the cards I got 9s. I feel that this submission overall is inconsistent based on the previous ones. And I'll make a very telling case for that as soon as we get to the card that I was mentioning earlier. Blue Eyes 10, so that's good. Freaking at least that I got. You know, good look at this. I mean, I don't know. I've done this so much on camera, taking the SDK 001 Blue Eyes First Ed and shining it because it's just so shiny. By the way, this is the one I opened from the two. From my star deck, I got 2 of them. So, all right. So this is a right arm of the Forbidden One first print. I got a 9. Left leg of the Forbidden One first print. I got a 9. And right leg of the Forbidden One first print, I got a 9, and I honestly thought all 3 would get 10s. And I was very excited because I know a few of my friends need these, and I myself am trying to collect a set as 10s, and I really want to open them to see. I will open them, in fact, to see what the heck about them got 10s, you know? That's something we're going to have to explore. And I have to make a decision whether they're going back to PSA or whether they're going to BGS. So, and by the way, I spoke with PSA, like I said, and I told them, hey, I'm transferring over to BGS now, and they're like, we don't care. So basically, she told me, first print Flame Swordsman, got an 8. You guys know I love this card. Just the first print of it is just so cool. The first print, ripple-like, wave-like surface of the hollow foil goes very well with the fiery theme of the card, which fire is ripply and wavy. That's why it just looks really neat. Definitely different than the second print. So this is one of those, I think, where the first print and the second print differ significantly in terms of the overall contribution to the aesthetics of the card. So moving on, what do we have here? And it's a 9 of Labyrinth of Nightmare, Last Warrior from Another Planet. Sorry to my friend Chris, who I was trying to get this a 10 for him. You know, blame not me, my friend, blame the graders. So I'm not sure if we're gonna send it back. 9 of First Print Dark Magician and a 9 of First Print Dark Magician. Very, very well. I can't complain. Even as 9s, they're really cool, but they will be going to, I think, BGS, or maybe one of them will go. Actually, sorry, this is an 8. This one's a 9. So thought they'll. I didn't think they would both get 10s. I thought at least they had somewhat of a chance. Pretty much it's just centering for both of them. So again, I think BGS would be more forgiving, because if they give a 9 on centering and everything else turns out to be a 9.5 or above for the subgrades, then it gets a 9.5 overall, which is Gem Mint. So, but I know Gem Mint from BGS isn't the same thing as Gem Mint from PSA, but at least Gem Mint is better than PSA 9, you know? So that's my thinking on it. This is probably my most exciting return from the whole submission, which is a Gem Mint 10 Elemental Hero Phoenix Enforcer First Edition Ultimate Rare. And the reason is because Ultimate Rares are, first of all, very hard to find. I would not be surprised, by the way, if this is the only Ultimate Rare of this card as a PSA 10 in existence. I would not be surprised at all. And in fact, my intuition tells me that is the case. Because you guys saw last time when I took out my Enemy of Justice cards from PSA from the 110 bulk submission, I had 2 Wild Wingmen in there that were pack fresh, looked really good. I thought I would definitely get 10s. They both got 9s. And Enemy of Justice, from which this card comes, is just difficult to grade. They have like really, the impressions are very prominent on the back. And so the fact that this got a 10, this one I was worried about, but it got a 10 actually. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't, but very happy. Probably my happiest one. I got the Wild Edge, which is cool, but the Wild Edge is like, you know, I feel like I can get a Wild Edge in the next year if I wanted to, but this guy is like one. It's so difficult to come by in Gem Mint condition, really is. So yeah, very happy about it. I got a Hidden Kagutsuchi 10, and I got a Hidden Kagutsuchi 10, so that adds to my Legacy of Darkness collection. Now I'm gonna put that aside for a second for a good reason. Got a 9 from Injection Fairy Lily, and as you can see, it is the centering, which is always the issue with her. I just thought that the centering was not so bad, that it had like a somewhat decent chance. Even if a 25% chance of getting a 10, I thought it was all right. So that just didn't, it just misfired in terms of my calculation. So yeah, she got a 9. That's okay. And a 9 of the Dark Magician Girl. First of all, before I even start the commentary, let's just take a look at her. I mean, there's a good reason why this card has gone up so much recently, and I think will continue to go up. First of all, she's such an iconic card. Really up there on the list of iconic Yu-Gi-Oh monsters is Dark Magician Girl. Very, very high up on the list. She has so much appeal. She's such a cool card. I don't know what else to say. It's Dark Magician Girl, you guys. It's Dark Magician Girl. And this is from her first release ever, which is Magician's Force 000 First Edition Secret Rare. Very neat. Very, very neat indeed. And this only comes from the 24-pack booster boxes, not the 36 packs. So, very cool. I thought she had a good chance at a 10, so I'm not going to leave her as a 9. That would just be... it'll be immoral. It'll be unethical to leave her as a 9, because she doesn't deserve that. Look at her. Does she deserve that, you guys? I mean, come on. She doesn't deserve that. Am I right? Alright. Alright, I'll stop being weird. I'll send her back to BGS, and we'll see what happens. Dark Necrofear 10. So only 2 of these in the world as 10s. I have a buyer kind of lined up right now for her. So, yeah. So, just nothing to say, really. It's Dark Necrofear from Labyrinth of Nightmare. My favorite card from Labyrinth of Nightmare. I would have liked to hold on to her just for like a day or 2, maybe, but I think she'll be gone on... Actually, yeah, she'll be shipped out on Monday, probably. So, I will have a day or 2 to play with her. So, not to play with her, you sickos, but, you know, just to admire her. Yeah, really cool. Pop 2. I also have a United We Stand. I opened in the previous video as a Pop 1, so... Pop 1, Pop 2. You know, as the old saying goes, Pop 1, Pop 2. No? Okay. Yamada Dragon, Gem Mint 10. So let's pull out the Hinokagu. Where is he? So Hinokagu and Yamada Dragon, these guys are featured in the card last turn. Both of them fighting each other from Legacy of Darkness. And that now that I have these two, there's only one card that I need in order to complete the ultra rare set of first edition Legacy of Darkness Gem Mint 10 from PSA, and that is Tyrant Dragon, which is currently a Pop 0, but you guys saw me get it as a 9 there. Pop 0 as 10. So if you have a Tyrant Dragon, if you ever come across one that has even a remote chance at a 10, please let me know. I'd be more than willing to pay a huge premium for it, since it's the only one missing. And I also need Injection Fairly, but I don't want to buy or trade for it because I think I might be able to get one on my own. But I do need help on the Tyrant Dragon. Once I get it, I'm going to complete the entire Legacy of Darkness set. The rares, the super rares, the ultra rares, and the secret rares, all of them as PSA 10s. And you guys might be thinking, what the heck, why Legacy of Darkness? And the only reason is because it's kind of like a trophy prize, I suppose, is in the sense that they're so difficult to grade as 10s due to the overwhelming centering issues that are found in Legacy of Darkness overall. So just to get them all as 10s means the centering is good, and it is good. If you look at these guys, it's really good. So it's not easy to get. So I like the challenge of trying to collect the whole set, which is what got me into it in the first place. And it would be really neat to see it in its completion. And the last card here is going to be, I'm guessing it should be a Gem Mint 10 right arm of Exodia. And that is correct. Now, here's the thing that I was telling you guys about. When you guys saw that 8, what was it? It was an 8 of Dark Magician, right? Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to send it back in. And got an 8. But actually, this guy right here, the right arm, I sent it into PSA and he got an 8 in the previous submission. He got an 8. I cracked it out of the case, cracked it out, took the card out, sent it back in this submission, and he got a 10. And this example right here, this particular instance of a card going from an 8 to a 10 in 2 subsequent submissions, was my main point when I was talking to the supervisor with PSA and to PSA in general, which is, you guys are very inconsistent. Now, of course, I'm not complaining about getting a 10. That's great. I love all 10s. But the point is that there was a 2-point difference. How do you confuse, what is an 8? An 8 is a near mint, right? So how do you confuse a near mint and a gem mint? I understand there's a subjective human element, but at the same time, you have to train your staff well enough that at least some of the human subjective difference is removed so that they can grade based on particular standards so that they consistently produce the same results. And so this kind of phenomenon where a card changes its grade by 2 points from one submission to the next by a grading company just shows that there's more luck involved here than I guess I had previously thought. I did say before that luck is involved, but this makes me kind of think more about it. It's a huge difference, an 8 and 10. How do you confuse that? So I use that as a point to say that the overall submission was therefore not to be trusted, and that the fact that a lot of the 9s should have been 10s, but of course they wouldn't have any of it. And in fact, the supervisor I spoke with, her name is Stephanie. She was adversarial. She wasn't trying to put herself in my shoes at all. She showed no compassion. She tried to show no understanding of my situation, and she was adversarial and defensive. And in the end, she just basically didn't want to hear it. She just basically kept saying, "Well, there's a review option. You can pay $18 to have each card regraded, $18 per card." And I'm like, "What? Are you serious? You think I'm gonna pay $18 to have this looked at again? No. I want it done correctly the first time." All right, so let's get to the Mirror Force. Let's crack it open. You guys can see how I do that, and we'll look at how we'll check it out. We'll check it out close on camera, see how it looks, and let's see if it's deserving of a 5. Like, okay, I get if it's a 9 or an 8, but a 5? What about it makes it a 5 is my question. Now, maybe they damaged the card in the process of grading it. That's certainly possible. All right, got to be a little bit careful here. I got to focus so I don't destroy anything. That's a pretty good clean entry. You see, guys, I told you before, I'm going to say it again, I should be a surgeon. Look at this. Look at this. Perfect entry right there. Oh, okay. We're good. We're good. And I don't know what happened that it got a 5. I mean, that's such a huge surprise to me. Guys, just be patient with me so I don't cut myself. Okay, there we go. Got in there. All right. Kind of doing it a little quickly. There. Just pull it apart nice and slow. There we go. There we go. Clean opening. Clean exit. Clean exit. Clean exit wound. All right, now let's try to look at this. You guys see the front? You guys see any problems with the front? Any issues with the front? Okay, I don't see much here. The back surface. You guys see the back surface there? You see any issues with the? Oh, you know what? Actually, yeah. I may have spoken too soon. So that's something I guess I missed. Wait, I don't actually recall that there, but I'm not gonna blame them and say they did it since I don't have enough information. Because I can't remember, obviously, how each and every single one of these cards looked before I sent it in. But camera's not really capturing it that well. There's a little, actually, yeah, you can see it. Focus. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a crease. Tiny indent there. I still don't think they should knock it down to a 5 though. It's really small. It's like a fingernail. Actually, it is in the shape of a fingernail. Very suspicious. It looks like 2 fingernails were dug into the bottom right corner. Very suspicious. It is suspicious, but I can't make any statements because I don't have enough information due to the fact that I just don't remember what each of these cards look like. I don't remember, but I like to think I checked them all well enough before sending them out. Yeah, I don't see how this could have slipped by me. This kind of a crease here, like almost like somebody dug a fingernail into the bottom right corner on the back. But I'm not gonna accuse them and say they did it accidentally or whatever. You know, it's just what it is. What it is. I still don't think it gets a 5 though from that. It's just a tiny little thing. Or maybe it does. I don't know. But either way, it's not a 10. It's halfway there. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Probably just. Oh, by the way, this one also has that fading of the. If you know your mirror forces, you know they're supposed to be darker. They're the red or purple around the card. So it's faded. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much the whole review. We broke some cards open today. We had some really surprising results, like this getting a 10 after it got an 8. And we had some disappointing ones too, like a bunch of 9s on first print LOB stuff. Some good results as well. You know, you got 2 LOD 10s, and I got that Phoenix Enforcer as a 10, which is I just the whole thing is worth it. You know, I spent a lot of money. I would say I lost some money because of just how inconsistent this sub was, but this thing makes it worth it for me, honestly, because it just, I want to say it's priceless. I'm sure it has a really high value as a 10, but it's just so difficult to get it, and I couldn't be more happy. I do have a Shining Phoenix Enforcer, which is the upgraded version of Phoenix Enforcer. All you got to do is add a Sparkman to it. And it's pack fresh, and it appears to me gem mint, and if this thing got a gem mint, that should get a gem mint also, which is so cool. I had to trade so much to get it ungraded. Gem mint Shining Phoenix Enforcer. I traded 2 Star Deck Blue Eyes, First Eds, and both of them are either mint or gem mint, so that's a huge value right there. Assuming they're each like $300, that's like $600 trade. I paid $600 for a Shining Phoenix Enforcer when they go around 70. And I did that obviously because it's just how you ever come across that ever again. So I had to make a ridiculous offer to get it. And I've opened before Enemy of Justice at least 10 boxes. I don't know the exact number, at least 10 boxes, and I did not even get a single Phoenix Enforcer or Shining Phoenix Enforcer, which is so sad. I did get those 2 Wild Wingmen, both of them got a 9, and that's it. That's what it is, guys. And let me just do a little show off here of my BLSs. I did trade one on them, so 2 left. And I might be trading another one. I think I'd like to hold on to one of them, but you never know what's going to happen. Anyways, thanks for checking out my opening video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you like the cards. Hope you like the Dark Magician Girl. And if you don't like the Dark Magician Girl, you can go ahead and unfollow me right now. I'm just kidding. Please follow me and subscribe to me. I love you guys. Peace.